Welcome to History Buff. Before we dive into today's untold story, please make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a journey through time. What I'm about to tell you has baffled experts for decades. For over 110 years, the RMS Titanic has rested in the crushing darkness of the North Atlantic, 3,800 meters below the surface. We thought we had the timeline figured out. The iceberg, the collision, the tragic plunge into the icy depths. But recent technology is revealing a story far more complex than the movies suggest. In 2023, a revolutionary full-size digital scan of the wreck was completed, providing an unobstructed view of the entire ship as if the water had been drained away. To understand these new revelations, we must first look back at the ship that was deemed unsinkable. She was a marvel of Edwardian engineering, the largest moving object ever built by human hands. But the ship we see today on the ocean floor is a ghost. A 50,000-ton steel puzzle that scientists are only now beginning to piece together using the latest forensic evidence. But here's where it gets interesting. New scans have revealed that the damage to the hull might not be exactly where we thought it was for the last century. Chapter 1: The Descent. For years, the narrative was a 300-foot gash along the starboard side. But the new 3D data shows a series of small punctures and buckling plates instead. This suggests the steel was more brittle than expected, and the rivets, the literal pins holding the ship together, may have been the weak link that doomed the vessel. The debris field stretches for over 5 square miles. It is a graveyard of dreams, containing everything from coal and boilers to the personal effects of the 500 souls lost that night. Among the most haunting discoveries are the pairs of shoes. Where the leather remains, the bodies have long since been reclaimed by the sea, leaving behind only the footwear as a silent testament to where people fell. Chapter 2: The Structural Failure. For decades, survivors claimed the ship broke in two, but experts disagreed until the wreck was finally found in 1985. Now, we know why it happened. The new scans show that the ship didn't just snap, it underwent a massive structural collapse that began deep within the keel long before the stern rose into the air. This internal flooding created a seesaw effect, putting millions of pounds of pressure on the midsection. The ship was literally being pulled apart by its own weight. Now, pay close attention to what happens next. The way the stern and bow lie on the bottom tells us a terrifying story about the journey from the surface to the floor. The bow, designed to be hydrodynamic, glided through the water, hitting the bottom at nearly 30 miles per hour and burying itself deep in the silt. The stern, however, was a different story. Filled with air pockets, it imploded as it sank, spinning violently and scattering its contents across the seabed in a chaotic explosion of steel. This explains why the stern is a mangled heap of unrecognizable metal, while the bow remains an iconic, if deteriorating, monument. Chapter 3: The Debris Field Secrets. In the darkness, the debris field acts as a time capsule. Some items have survived in nearly pristine condition despite the immense pressure. We've found unopened bottles of champagne, leather suitcases that still hold clothes, and even delicate sheet music that hasn't dissolved after a century. Each of these items tells a story. They aren't just artifacts, they are the final echoes of a world that vanished in the early hours of April 15, 1912. But modern researchers have found something even more unsettling hidden within the debris. Something that points to a series of human errors we are only now beginning to quantify. This is the part most people don't know. The latest forensic mapping of the engines and telegraph suggests that the stop order might have been followed by an all-ahead order in a desperate attempt to move the ship. Fascinating, isn't it? If you're enjoying this, take a quick moment to like the video and subscribe to History Buff to help us tell more stories like this. If the ship had stayed still, the flooding might have been slower. By moving, they may have increased the water pressure against the damaged hull, accelerating the sinking. Chapter 4: The Bacterial Threat. The Titanic is not just sinking into the sand, it is being eaten. a unique species of bacteria, RMS Titanic, is slowly consuming the ship's iron. In the last 20 years, the decay has accelerated. Iconic features, like the captain's bathtub and parts of the officers' quarters, have already collapsed into dust. Scientists estimate that within the next few decades, the Titanic will collapse entirely, leaving only a rust stain on the ocean floor. This creates a race against time. Every expedition now is a rescue mission for information. We are trying to record everything before it's gone forever. The 2023 scans were crucial. They captured every rivet, every scratch, and every debris fragment in sub-millimeter detail, creating a digital twin that will last forever. But why does this matter now? Because the data is revealing mysteries that the eyes of a submersible pilot could never see. For example, new evidence suggests there was a massive coal fire in one of the bunkers that had been burning for days before the ship even hit the iceberg. The intense heat from this fire, estimated at over 1,000 degrees, could have weakened the steel bulkhead right where the iceberg struck. This means that unsinkable ship might have been structurally compromised before it even left the dock in Southampton. It was a perfect storm of bad luck and engineering oversights. Chapter 5: The Legacy and Future. The Titanic has become more than just a shipwreck, it is a monument to human hubris and a cemetery that demands our respect. There is a growing debate about whether we should continue to visit the site. Some see it as a scientific necessity, while others see it as a desecration of a grave. New regulations and international treaties are being formed to protect what remains. The era of looting artifacts for museums is largely over, replaced by in situ preservation. When we look at these new images, we don't just see rusted steel. We see the final moments of a tragedy that redefined maritime safety forever. The evidence suggests something far more complex than a simple accident. It was a chain of events, where one small failure led to the next, until the unthinkable became inevitable. Even now, 500 feet below this calm surface, the Titanic continues to surrender its secrets, one byte of data at a time. We are the first generation to see the ship in its entirety since it disappeared into the night in 1912. And what we see is both beautiful and terrifying. The ship is a reminder that nature always has the final word. No matter how much steel we forge or how much we boast of our engineering, the ocean is the ultimate master. As the physical ship dissolves into the sea, our digital understanding of it grows. We are documenting the death of a giant. The Titanic will eventually be gone, leaving only the stories we tell and the data we've gathered from the mud of the abyss. The more we find, the more we realize how little we actually knew about that fateful night. The new scans show a different story of the collision and the coal fire. Do you think the Titanic was doomed before it even hit the iceberg? What's your theory? Drop it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please like this video and subscribe to History Buff for more content. See you in the next chapter of our journey.